Hey guys, I'm back again and I'm here to do a book haul. So this will be book haul number 1 and then you will get book haul number 2 a little bit later. So let's just get started. The first book on my list is this one right here, which is The First Ladies by Marie Benedict and Victoria Christopher Murray. As you know, Marie Benedict and Victoria Christopher Murray co-wrote The Personal Librarian last year and thoroughly enjoyed that one. Really great book. If you haven't read that one, please pick it up. It's super interesting. This one is revolving around Eleanor Roosevelt and Mary McLeod Bethune. I'll read a little bit so you can understand. It says, the daughter of formerly enslaved parents, Mary McLeod Bethune, refuses to back down as white supremacists attempt to thwart her work. She marches on as an activist and an educator, and as her reputation grows, she becomes a celebrity, revered by titans of business and recognized by U.S. presidents. Eleanor Roosevelt herself is awestruck and eager to make her acquaintance. Initially drawn together because of their shared belief in women's rights and the power of education, Mary and Eleanor become fast friends, confiding their secrets, hopes, and dreams, and holding each other's hands through tragedy and triumph. This is going to be good. I know this is going to be good. Okay, next book on my list is this big monster right here, which is The Covenant of Water by Abraham Verghese. Okay, here he is. If you don't know who he is, here's Abraham Verghese. Okay, now, this is the second big fiction novel that he has written. The first fiction novel that I read from him was Cutting for Stone, and I absolutely adored that novel. I thought it was extremely well done, and now this one has come out. Now, I've been waiting for this for a long time, so when I had heard like just little things, you know, information about it possibly being published soon, I went and looked for it and I pre-ordered it. So I had this one pre-ordered like a while. It's been a while now. So this is what it's about. It says, spanning the years 1900 to 1977, The Covenant of Water follows a family in southern India that suffers peculiar affliction. In every generation, at least one person dies by drowning, and in Kerala, water is everywhere. At the turn of the century, a 12-year-old girl grieving the death of her father is sent by boat to her wedding, where she will meet her 40-year-old husband for the first time. From this poignant beginning, the young girl and future matriarch, known as Big Amachi, will witness unthinkable changes over the span of her extraordinary life, full of joy and triumph, as well as hardship and loss. Her faith and love, the only constants. That's got to be good. Oh, I can't wait to just sit down and read this in peace. Okay, the next book on my list. Now, this one I've seen all over the place, particularly on Instagram from a lot of the Caribbean bookstagrammers that I follow. And that is Hungry Ghost by Kevin Jared Hossein. Now, this one sounds extremely interesting, and I think it is of the literary fiction variety. So all those who do not like that, you might want to abstain, but here we go. So it says 1940s rural Trinidad. On a hill overlooking Bell Village sits the Changur farm, where Dalton and Marlee Changur live in luxury unrecognizable to those who reside in the farm's shadow. Down below, by the river, is the barrack, a ramshackle building of wood and tin divided into rooms occupied by whole families. Among these families are the Sarups, Hans and Shweta and their son Krishna, whose lives are shaped by back-breaking work, poverty, and devotion to faith. When Dalton Kongur goes missing and Marlee's safety is compromised, farmhand Hans is offered a generous payment to move to the farm as watchman. It's a proposition he can't refuse. But as the mystery of Dalton's disappearance unfolds, their lives become dangerously entwined and the small community altered forever. Yeah. This feels like Caribbean luxury. Caribbean literary luxury. I cannot wait to pick this one up. Okay. The next one I have here is In the Upper Country by Kai Thomas. Now, this is a Canadian book. Now, this is one of the books that was proposed for the vote for my Read So Lit Patreon book club. And in the end, this one got it. And so this one is an interesting storyline as well. So it says, in 1859, deep in the forests of Canada, an elderly woman sits behind bars. She journeyed north via the Underground Railroad to escape enslavement, but an American bounty hunter tracked her down. Now she's in jail for killing him. And the fragile peace of Dunmore, a town settled by people fleeing the American South, hangs by a thread. Lucinda Martin, a smart young reporter, wants to gather the woman's testimony before she can be condemned, but the old woman has no patience for confessions. Instead, she proposes a barter, a tale for a tale. As the women swap stories of family and first loves, of survival and life after liberty, Lucinda must face her past. And it seems the old woman may carry a secret that could shape her destiny. So I'm really excited about this one. This is Kai Thomas right here. So yeah, I'm really, because I mean, I feel like Canadian books are not put forward enough in our reading. And I cannot understand what it is, why it's so difficult getting Canadian lit when you live in the States. Now, I live in France, but I still managed to get the book. I had to order it from Amazon, but I don't know what it is between the literary worlds of Canada and the US. I don't get it. But this one right here sounds like it should be a really good book. And this is the one that won. So we're going to be reading this in September. All right. The next book, you have all heard about that. And it's called Crook Manifesto by Colson Whitehead. This is book 2 in the, I think his name is Mike Carney. Is it Mike Carney? See, this one, it says 1971, New York City, trash piles up on the streets. Crime is at an all-time high. The city is going bankrupt, and a shooting war has broken out between the NYPD and the Black Liberation Army. Furniture store owner and ex-fence Ray Carney is trying to keep his head down, his business up, and his life straight. But then he needs Jackson 5 tickets for his daughter, May, and he decides to hit up an old police contact who wants favors in return. For Ray, staying out of the game gets a lot more complicated and deadly. So it's the Ray Carney series. So if you read his first book, Harlem Shuffle, that was the first of the Ray Carney series. This is book 2 that just came out. Okay, and then the next book I picked up was this one right here called Things Past Telling by Sheila Williams. This book really intrigued me. It was proposed to me when I was looking for something on Amazon, and this book was proposed to me. It says, Miriam Priscilla Grace is a midwife born in West Africa around 1758. She has been gifted various names, but her birth name is known to her alone. Things Past Telling is a remarkable historical novel that charts Miriam's journey across an ocean of years, as vast as the Atlantic she crossed when she was only 11 years old. Miriam survives capture, enslavement, and a brief stint as a pirate's ward, where she is both a spy and a translator. Throughout her triumphant and tumultuous life and across a landscape that spans what is now southern Nigeria to the Ohio River, Miriam gains and loses family, her culture, her husband, lovers, and children. The character is inspired by a 112-year-old woman whom author Sheila Williams discovered in an 1870 U.S. federal census record for Ohio. Things Past Telling is loosely based on Williams' real-life female ancestors, from stories told around the Sunday dinner table and clues excavated from historical documents. The exploits of these spirited women are woven like colorful threads into a narrative tapestry of one woman's life that readers will embrace and carry with them. So yeah, when I read that, it was based off of, you know, this 112-year-old woman. I was like, wow, that sounds super interesting. And the cover's pretty cool too. So that's that. And then I picked up this one right here. I had this recommended to me by Jennifer from Life Lived Booked and on Bookstagram. And it's called Stories from the Tenants Downstairs. This is a short story collection. I thought, why not? Even though I don't really do that well with short story collections. But she spoke so highly of this one. Beneaker Terrace on 129th and Fred Doug ain't pretty, but it's home. Home to young and old folk just trying to get by. Cookouts with beer and wings, sometime with souped up cars, bumping music. People don't come here for the bad. They came here to make a good life. It's home to Swan Down and 6B, reconnecting with his boy boons just out of prison. Home to Mimi and 14D, raising Swan's child, doing hair on the side. Home to Quanisha and 21J, longing to leave, but it's where she grew up. Home to Mr. Murray and 2E, who has played chess outside on the sidewalk for years. Some of the residents of Beneaker have got it together. Some can't make rent or pay bills. Some are raising kids. Some are hustling on the side. All are living. So Stories from the Tenants Downstairs sounds pretty interesting. And then last but not least, I have this one right here, which is Chain Gang AllStars by Nana Kwame Adeji Brenya. Okay, now he wrote Sunday Black, which I think was a collection of short stories going towards either the sci-fi fantasy type. And I am in the process of reading this, and you can kind of see my thing sticking out here. And this, I would say, it's kind of like more like in a dystopian kind of feel to it. It's very, very interesting, but not for the faint of heart. It is, you got to get your mind right. I don't know how to talk about this book, but I'll read a little bit of what it says. Retta Thurwar and Hamara Hurricane Stacker are the stars of the Chain Gang AllStars, the cornerstone of CAPE, or criminal action penal entertainment, a highly popular, highly controversial profit-raising program in America's increasingly dominant private prison industry. It's the return of the gladiators, and prisoners are competing for the ultimate prize, their freedom. So, yeah, this has been a very interesting read, but my goodness, wow. But he's saying a lot about, you know, critiquing the American penal system and just everything, like how does that work in society and how does society view the penal system? And it's just done. I feel like it's done really, really well. I'm halfway through. I should be finished very soon. Thumbs up, or just let me know down below if you would like me to do a review of Chain Gang AllStars. So that's all for the first book haul. Hope you enjoyed that. Look out for the next book haul. It should come probably in the month of August, the beginning of August, something like that. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye.